Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf.
Today is day one of a new future.
Turn off.
What does the future look like to you?
It's information to...
What the wrong with you people?
10, 9.
Please turn that off.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Let's Play. I'm Miles Dyer, and today we are entering the world of Not For Broadcast VR, which is actually not out for a couple more weeks. I want to say a massive thank you to tinyBuild for providing me with the game key and allowing me to broadcast Not For Broadcast VR today. And in an unusual state of affairs, I'm actually not going to be able to hear the live chat. I want to say hello to everyone. I can see the live chat at the bottom of my headset just now, because there is a lot going on in this game. And my buddy Brian Poole from PS VR Without Parole was telling me that I want to have all my focus in games. So you're welcome to chat amongst yourselves. I will have a peek at the chat whenever I can. But yeah, it's one of the rare occasions where I don't have my in-ears. So yeah, without further ado, do hit the like button and ring the bell to be notified of all future Let's Plays, because I'm on a mission to Let's Play every single PS VR2 game out there. And at this point in time, tomorrow is December 2023, and we have so many great games coming over the horizon, so stay tuned for them. Let's jump in. Have a look at options. Yeah. Hardcore mode, or censor, or headlines. Wow, there's a lot of options, but I reckon we just go into it as it is.
Are you saying that advance have cured death?
Juggle.
Yeah, let's do broadcaster. Nice little hands.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Very loud. Is the audio levels all right? Can you hear me all right? Nice bit of British humour about propaganda, which means you're having a really good look at something. You get it? A propaganda. Oh wow, here we are. Day one. The election.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. Alright mate, Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens.
Yep.
Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience.
Okay.
You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left.
Okay.
Don't worry. I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch.
Oh, the haptics feel good.
Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen.
Do you know
that
what?
we're
I'll
in the
just reset
end
it there
titles for
a
the
little
show
bit. There we go.
before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
My Salad Weekly looks like a winner. And exercise with ham sleeves.
Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we better not make any mistakes.
Sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the
2.
flowered market. Top the flowered market.
What? What's going on?
Chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live
What happened?
to advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of
What
the
did I-
fledgling
what did I
party
do wrong?
have to say on their historic
Right, button 2 in 3,
Oh.
2, 1, now. Lovely, mate.
Well, it's my bad. I did it way too early. I was looking at the number up there.
With button 1, when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
This is jokes. I broke it. I know I broke.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1, now. Lovely, mate.
The votes are in, and it's a decisive win for advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on that machine at the bottom right and use the slider that's flashing there to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary...
Right, it's going well. All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want.
We'll do them in
I'll count
order.
you into it as well, but keep
And
your
by the way,
eye on the
adverts,
clock.
my American brothers and sisters,
3,
is commercials.
2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
I'll tell you what, this is a game that I'd put my parents or family or friends in who've not done VR before.
I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
We're not sure, but here in St. Bumley on the
Right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Me too.
Yeah.
this summer and experience a holiday that's simply
Wicked. We've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking.
Oh.
2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction
I am
shots
breaking
for
the
too
news.
long. A couple of
Thanks,
seconds
Awesome
is
Tatum.
usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine.
Wicked.
It's not as
Just let you know,
complicated as it
chat,
sounds.
anyone that's just
You've
joined,
seen
hello, do
programs
hit the
on
like button.
television, haven't you? Make it look like those.
I can't hear anyone because there's so much going on. I haven't got any in-ears.
Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
So I guess I'm going to go to 1
Thank you so much.
in 10 seconds.
10 seconds, everybody.
10 seconds. We can do this.
Counting in 5, 4, 3.
1.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
I've done that already.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Your latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The Medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked
Thunder
with him on
Twat.
several movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed.
Looks like a fire.
Often.
Looks like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding.
Five Nights at Freddy's minus panic attacks. Yeah.
Suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. The little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, well, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
That was terrible.
Oh, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the slider, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by gently pushing the stick to the right. No, mate, drag right.
I don't know that.
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
No, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Oh.
Jubbly, mate.
Hey, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, but this time, move the joystick up. Upwards, mate, upwards.
What is there?
Me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor,
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
you need to see this.
No.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
No. No. Oh my. What? It's not letting me go down. It wasn't letting me. It wasn't letting me go down. Oh my goodness, that was not good. It wasn't letting me go down. It should let you use the joystick on your controller when you grab it. Oh my goodness, am I going to have to start all the way back here?
Warm, sandy beaches, clear waters, and fine dining. Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Tyne, we've got a big hill and the bus.
Oh, this was the commercial about Bumley. Come to Bumley. Now, there is a lot of reprojection in this game. A lot of ghosting effects.
Great, mate. But this is where it
But
starts getting a bit tricky.
apart from that, it's all pretty good.
This next sequence is what we call a multicam
Ah,
sequence.
we're all the way back here.
Between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot.
Someone says activate grab assist in settings, I'd suggest.
Keep it interesting.
Let's have a look.
3. Don't stay.
Let's have a look. Is it inaccessibility? Game. No. There's nothing there. Yeah. Oh well. We'll go back in. We'll resume.
On reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody.
We got this.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Jacket, potato. Let's turn it off.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from stock election winners advanced. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is here with the star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his name.
By none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear.
Go to 3, go to 3.
That being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
Already done that.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I've worked with him on several movies, all terribly successful.
It makes you think about all the stuff that's said about guests in the background.
This has been. And you know what, Megan, this has been? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right.
I just realised her hands went over into screen 3.
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes,
Look,
you're right.
it's the same camera. 3 and 4. That's funny.
Been on that shot a bit long.
Played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll
Rockman.
remember that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and I will bleed. And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course,
Get back to who's
we're in
talking.
for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again.
There goes that.
Don't panic, I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week
Right,
around
they've
the
swapped
country.
the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Cool, looks like Blunderclash is losing
This
it.
seems stressful, Albert was saying.
There's more interference coming.
In-game volume is a bit low. Oh wow, it was really loud earlier. Let me turn it up a bit. Let me know how that is.
As the frequency changes, match it to the wire
Oh shit.
by gently pushing the stick to the right.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nolans, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
See? Okay, there we go.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time, but this time, move the joystick up. Try and keep in time with the white guides.
I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
Right, this is the bit I messed up last time.
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
It's not letting me go down. It's not letting me go down anywhere. It's not letting me go down. Okay, there we go.
You'll get it with practice.
Okay, that was not letting me go down, so I don't know if that's busted. Because if so, I'm not going to be able to get any further in the
You'll
game.
want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in. Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the censor button for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now.
Oh.
As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder. Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
Chairs that are still and a deal. We got those chairs. You want crazy? We got crazy. Crazy Neil's got crazy deals.
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live, that's too late. You can use the vision mixing buttons. buttons on the left to select the screen you want.
Seriously,
Chadworth. 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance Headquarters, where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying, southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. It makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of, probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
I love that he's just leading.
Said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents, I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Hold it down a bit long there, mate.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance, and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not going for a drink?
No, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
Build your collection week by week.
There we go. Oh, I went from a E to a B.
Really gets the lunchroom talking.
Challenge room unlocked.
When the program's finished,
This is ridiculous.
it's 3 pages. This first page
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm doing the toggle wrong. Like I'm meant to hold the joystick, like the controller away to do that. I don't know.
Bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall.
Like teletext.
Shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Pop in there now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Choose any one of them and select load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
Well, in a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's national nightly news. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight.
Wow, super slow. Oh, that was when I messed that bit up. Alright.
Right, now let's take a look at the rushes. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast.
So during this we could listen to just this.
You've been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, you got liability in the best of times.
I know. God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, can we not fast forward? Yeah, we can. Basically, because once, then you can listen to what they were saying.
Have I nearly hit the source this one? It's very green.
It's kind of cool. Because then they all come over, don't they? There was another person comes in. Here we go.
Except for the rich. For them the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shit in pants on and opening their dusty checkbook.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a cool feature. Because I was curious during that to know. Thank you, Karina. Yeah, I can't hear everyone in the chat, unfortunately. So you're doing good work. Let's have a look at some of these commercials. It was Come to Bumley. That was the one that I played first. Let's see it.
Where can you get warm, sandy beaches, clear waters, and fine dining? Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Taint, we've got a big hill and the bus comes twice daily.
This is a joke. There is a real commercial like this called Sandy Bulls. Look it up, Google it. It's in the UK. There is a place in the UK called Sandy Bulls. And the commercial starts like that.
This summer and experience a holiday that's
so Bumley isn't actually that funny. Sandy Bulls is a real place.
Come and visit the abandoned spade factory. Your kids will love exploring the old production line in relative safety. Grab your tetanus shots and come down today. There's no gift shop, but feel free to grab an old handle from the skiff out the back. Or why not indulge your cultured side and visit some of our sites of historic interest, like the parish church, currently the subject of a thrilling police investigation.
Yeah, that's funny. Right. I'm just going to see if there's a way of, like, being in experimental mode, because I want to get the toggle right.
Good evening.
Right, let's have a look.
I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headline
Challenge
tonight.
room. Let's have a look. Snuggle fucked. Boseman has taken away the cable to the satellite to save money, and because he thought it might be a snake, now we've got interference all over the shop and it's coming fast and ever. Okay. Let's just see what this is. I just want to test with this. Yeah, look. So look. Oh, okay. It's opposite. That's why. So when I grabbed it, back is that way and forward is that way.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's at liability at the best of times.
Okay.
God help whoever has to bleep this. 10 seconds, everybody.
I mean, a lawyer and a TV personality running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
Man, this is rubbish.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now
Well,
go
it's
live
not
to
even Yeah, whatever that is, they need to do it that you can just grab it and use the toggle on your finger, because that is absolute trash. Unless I'm being a complete idiot. But we'll quit to challenge room. We'll go back to the main campaign. But that makes no sense to me.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Okie dokie. They copied that from Spider-Man. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man wasn't the first to have it. It's been in many, many games. Well, this feels like a horror game. An unexpected form. You arrive home to find the post on the map. Most being nothing more than just the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Okay. They appear to be... Upon starting a new job, you would be friendly, be productive, and get to work immediately. A colleague in a different department has confided you that they've been taking home confidential information. Now, a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would recommend that your colleague reports it. Promise your colleague that you went to anyone. Report the violation. Yes. An entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Your boss has put in place new targets that are significantly higher than the previous ones. You would leave work on time, stay late to ensure you hit the first deadline, leave work early and head to the pub, leave work early and head home to see your family. Hit the deadline. It's the annual company barbecue and you and your family have been invited. You are looking forward to enjoying a nice day out with friends and family, are washing your hair that day. Go if you're free but wouldn't mind missing it. Have been practicing with your co-workers and think you'll win the talent contest this year. You've had a long, successful career and now about to retire. In your speech, you list your achievements and all the good memories you have working there. Give an honest review of the pros and cons. Focus on issues and challenges you face. Refuse to attend. Do that. In your spare time, you like to relax alone, doing things like listening to music or making models. Attend political rallies, stand up for what you believe in. Encourage and support your children with their hobbies. Play in your local sports team. Your ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by nature, natural beauty, getting away from the strain of the daily grind, exploring somewhere unfamiliar and discovering new experiences and challenges, a structured day out at a theme park bursting with thrills and attractions for you and your family, a romantic getaway with your partner to a tropical island paradise. Let's do this one. It is most important that the government keeps people safe, free, happy, equal. Oh... Freedom is from safety. Thank you for your cooperation. Vance knows your time is valuable and we appreciate. Sign your name. A family matter. It's late. Sam and I didn't expect this to be a part of the game. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up your favourite coffee cup, a worn-out souvenir of your first trip together. The print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. A knock at the window brings you back to reality. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table visibly stressed. Chris takes a deep breath. I'm so sorry for bursting in so late, Alex, Chris stammers. But I need a favour, and you're the only one I can ask. No problem, what's going on? Are you okay? Should I go get Sam? No need to worry, Sam. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the Assets and Wealth Act? I literally work in news, Chris. Not really, must have passed me by. No. Chris Fitz bangs on the table. It's total bullshit. They're taking whatever they want and distributing it as they see fit. No government should have that kind of power. I can't believe they're actually getting away with it. Madness, which is why I need your help. Chris's eyes seem to be resting comfortably on the floor tiles. Look, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport. My passport? What for? They've taken mine in half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so... Chris is pacing now. I need to leave before it's too late. Once I'm out, me and my money will be safe, but I need to go now before they freeze my accounts. Please, Alex, I wouldn't ask if I had any other choice. Okay, it's upstairs in the safe. Surely there's another way. It can't be that serious. Chris's mouth falls open. You're joking, right? I've always done right by you and Sam. I've treated your children like they were my own. We're family. Does that mean nothing to you? All right, I'll go get the passport. Family's family. It's against the law. I can't help you with this. You climb the stairs to your bedroom, careful not to wake Sam, who is cocooned in the duvet as usual. You open the wardrobe, unlock the safe and retrieve the passport. A sleepy voice breaks the silence. Alex, what's going on? Nothing, sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Go back to sleep. Sam seems unsure. You sure? What are you doing in the safe? I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. I'll be up to bed shortly. You close the safe and head back downstairs to find Chris at the table fidgeting. They jump as soon as you re-enter the kitchen. So, have you got it? Yeah, good luck with everything. For the first time, Chris smiles. It's infectious. Thanks, I really appreciate this. I'll get back in touch once I'm safely out of the country. Chris takes the passport and, breathing a sigh of relief, grabs the nigh-on fluorescent suitcase and heads out into the night. You head to bed hoping you can prise some of the duvet away from Sam without waking them. Wow, what a story. What a story, Mark. What a story. Jeremy Donaldson is the country's most popular and trusted news anchor. For now. Right. Let's get some commercials ready. I'll check power. Oh. Hello? Should we play Is This Toy Safe? That one.
That's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. Come on, mate, on your left, the plugs and stuff.
Yeah, I've done it.
You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. Right, let's load up the adverts.
Yep, done.
You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences,
Yeah, I've done it all.
don't they?
I've done it all.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. these two buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
15 seconds.
Says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of
The
consumer
National Weather
advice, then.
Report and close down at midnight. But before all that, it's time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's National Nightly News.
Good evening. Headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future may hold with a leading economist and radical freethinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guests whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old. Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington's appointment is a risk for the giant mega corporation. Sophia, as our regular viewers will be aware, has always been a wild child and has been romantically linked to several movie stars and sports personalities. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Young and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cabin and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore, whose recent show, Snatched Inside My Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye.
Dave was here.
Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Oh. No. No. This is... It's so ridiculous, this. Come on. Ugh. I hate this. This ruins it.
In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised, but what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that adults have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting. Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't...
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates. See?
I'm wondering if she made a mistake then in acting.
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water.
The way she stops and repeated herself.
Full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling
I do miss hearing you guys in my headset.
That could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
Oh, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
I don't need to censor that, but...
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
We've got the ornaments for you. You want something like...
I got an E. But it's because of that, wasn't it? It's this thing that's costing me.
Crazy deals. This is a clear out of the storage locker.
And that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Little Jakey's going to the big bad culture with water.
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already told what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the
leave it there.
to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. We need change at a structural level, Jeremy.
I'm leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. The problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide.
Hate this. Hate this. Ah! Oh, man. Well, you know what? I am going to wrap it up there. I'm not going to start from the beginning. I am actually going to drop the devs a line about this because, honestly, this is the only thing in the game I'm finding incredibly frustrating, and is making me frustrated, is the joystick just doesn't seem intuitive. I wish when you grabbed it, you could just use the joystick, the thumbstick on your controller. Like, that would make sense to me. But there we go, everyone. That was, we'll go back to the main menu. That was Not for Broadcast VR. Once again, I'd like to thank tinyBuild for providing me with the game key. This comes out later in December. So what are my final thoughts?
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes.
Let me just turn down the game chat a bit. There we go. So what are my final thoughts? I think this game is... I think this game is actually a lot of fun. I actually really like the mechanics. I think it's really interesting. I like the fact that it's talking about, like, you know, propaganda and controlling the news. I'm curious to know, like, what, you know, it's teaching you the mechanics very early on. This is the first level that I'm on where it doesn't hold your hand anymore. I'm really curious to know where it ends up. Like, how much are you going to have an impact on the direction of this game? It's too early to say, but I think that actually there's quite a lot of scope to this game. The only thing I would say, though, is the replayability I'm not sure about, but then again, I've only played the first sort of 2 main levels. Maybe when it gets more complicated and difficult, you're really going to be up against it. There's a lot more to do, and so you'll be really trying to strive for those top scores. But yeah, I have to say, I had a lot of fun with this, and I will be playing more of it. You know, these are the kind of games that just give you sort of a different perspective. I actually like the puzzle elements, and I like the humour. It's very like old school British comedy humour. Yeah, from what I've heard from others, there's a lot more interesting stuff that goes on. But yeah, so audio-wise, I think the audio design in this game is excellent. There's a lot going on, but it's very clear where everything is. I think visually the game looks good. I'd have to say there is reprojection, or it looks a bit blurry when there's a bit of movement. The picture on the TV is often quite low quality, but I don't have an issue with that. Like, these are proper video images, and it kind of works with the aesthetic of these like classic TVs. So yeah, I mean, at the moment I'm having a good time with this, but I do think this is for a certain type of gamer. If you want, you know, these massive full-fledged worlds and experiences, then maybe this isn't for you. But if you want something that's a bit quirky, a bit fun, a bit different, then I think this is kind of cool. But obviously I don't know how much content there is this game and how long it goes on for. But I'm definitely looking forward to jumping back into it once I have worked out that joystick thing, because that has actually ruined everything, like in terms of my score. I mean, I was on like I think B or C at the end of one, but I moved from E. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. What do you think? I'm sure you agree with me. This is a very different looking game. I would continue playing this game if it wasn't for that, but I just don't want to keep pressing replay for you. You know, it's a bit boring for you guys as well, because it's like basically, me succeeding on these levels is all dependent on when that thing appears, because at the moment I have no sense of control on the joystick, and I don't know if I'm being an idiot or if the game is just not working yet. And look, this game isn't out yet, so maybe there's going to be a day one patch coming out. I'm definitely going to send this to the devs. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. I've been having a good time with this. So a massive thank you to everyone for watching. I'm sorry I haven't been able to hear you during the chat, but looking down at it now, seems like you've all been having a good conversation. Karina asking people to clip it when I'm dancing. But it's hard not to dance when the music gets good. But I want to say a massive thank you to Karina for moderating. And for everyone for joining. And if you're watching on replay, what do you think of this? Is this the kind of game that you'd give a try? Maybe it's not the usual one, but maybe you're looking at this and going, actually, I might give it a try. So yeah, those are my final thoughts. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Bye bye.